Those awakening fear their heart flickers. March 18, 2014. Dear ones, those fully enmeshed in 3D and oblivious to this transition are beginning to ponder their future and their heart. Until recently, they had little interest in heart tugs, for they believed heart interactions were a sign of weakness. Their intellect reigned. Those of you working at living from your heart, and work is the correct word, for your transition from intellect to heart is not now achievable without some focus on doing so, find such difficult to understand. For you believe that a relative, boss, child, political leader or significant other has no heart. Yet deep within, you know all have heart. Some, like you, open theirs while others put up a protective barrier. You have all created protective heart barriers in one or more of your earth lives, for you could not have completed your fear lessons without doing so. Perhaps you like to think those who seem heartless now are slow learners or wish to prolong fear lessons. Both and neither are the truth. For all of you have experienced similar feelings, or you would not be transitioning at this time. The concept that you have also been heartless is something you may wish to ponder. For that removes thoughts that you are better than others, that you could not harm yourself or others, or that you are above cruelty. Such is not true. For indeed, it required thousands of years and many lifetimes for most of you to process all facets of fear. Victim, caretaker, abuser, to pure panic. All have been or may yet be part of you. Those who remain deeply enmeshed in the fear continuum are a little different from you. Even though some opted to learn in a somewhat different sequence than you, as of the last major energy burst, all Earth entities agreed there was little left to learn in fear and wished to move to a new lesson. So it is that all are moving into new love lessons. Those of you reading this material have probably moved into love's elementary stages. Love might not yet be the focal point of your life, but you are fully aware of this new lesson and are doing your best to move into a love-based life. Doing so is a process. Just as was true of living in fear. If you take that thought a bit further, realize those just starting to receive glimmers of their new lesson might not understand what they are moving into. Did you comprehend the importance of the letter A when you were first instructed to find words starting with the letter A? No, indeed. You did what the teacher requested, not fully understanding that he or she was helping you expand your life with new options. So it is for those just moving into love. Their love indicators will not be as obvious or broad as yours, merely little flickers of light. And so it is that those who have not been loving with or to you might surprise you the next few weeks with a loving action or thought. They will be frightened by such weakness, for they are fully aligned, they think, with their intellect. If they feel like hugging someone or have an intuitive thought that proves accurate, they will be frightened. The result of that fear is a resolution to live even more from their intellect, for that is all they think they know. So for the next few weeks, you may find those of the intellect acting oddly, loving one moment, mean or some such action the next. Not because they dislike you more, but because they are frightened by their inner shift. The obvious question is, how can they not know if they agreed to the shift? They did so subconsciously, just as was true for you most of your 3D lives. Perhaps you had an imaginary playmate. Perhaps you had intuitive messages that your parents told you were not accurate, even if they were. And most certainly you ignored any visitors not of Earth. Very few of you allowed those sensations and interactions to be part of your life until recently. So it is for those just awakening. They do not wish to be different. And because they are shutting off their intuitive feelings as much as possible, they are not yet aware that you heart people are the future. They are stuck in their intellectual world, for now. This transition is more global than we or you anticipated. Those who insist on living in fear will not do so forever. And those of you who have already claimed your heart and are starting to process what that means for you are jumping for joy within your being. Those who seem the most filled with hate and rage will soften. And they will do so almost before your eyes. At first you will not trust them, but as they repeat their softening in so many ways, you will become joyful, for that means you no longer need to circumvent that person, place or thing. You have the freedom to be, and will watch in amazement as those whom you think have the darkest hearts find a similar joy. Perhaps it is easier to understand if we return to an analogy we have used before. In the early 1960s in the US, only odd people consumed yogurt. It was a product on the back shelves of a few ethnic and health food stores. Today it is such an accepted and common food that children ask for yogurt. So it will be with those just awakening. You and they will find it odd at first, but after a short period neither of you will remember when you feared that person, place or thing. So be it. Amen. Channeled by Brenda Hoffman. www.lifetapestrycreations.com